Hi guys, welcome to Reen's Place. Today I am going to do, how many am I doing? I didn't even check. I'm doing 3 recipes, 4 meals of crock pot freezer meals for pork. So what we're doing is we're going to do 2 barbecue pulled pork. We're going to do 1 honey Romano pork chops, and we're going to do 1 smothered pork chops. They had pork loin for sale at a local store here, and so we bought one for about $15. I just finished chopping it all up. I'm going to use these 2 for the barbecue pulled pork. I'm going to use 2 of them for my pork chop recipe, and then the other 2 I think I'm just going to freeze plain because I have some other regular recipes that I think I'm going to use those for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bag the pork, wash my hands, wipe off the station here, and I'll come back and we'll start putting these together. Okay guys, I'm back. I put the pork in the bags. I'm doing 4 boneless pork chops from the pork loin again in each bag of the pork chop recipes, and I just use those pieces of the roast to do the pulled pork recipe. Okay, so for the honey Romano pork chops, it says to add, let me grab my recipe. It says to add 3/4 of a cup of Romano cheese, and I have that right here. This is a 1/4 cup measure. Woo! Good thing I like cheese, huh? Do some 2. Good. Okay. That's 3 of those. Then it is asking for a 1/2 cup of honey, and honestly, this was like the longest thing in all the ingredients was getting the honey out of the jar. Okay, so 1/2 cup of honey. Never made this before, but I got this recipe online. I'll tell you in a second who I got it from. It came from Who Needs a Cape. So if you want to check out her site, she has a lot of good recipes also. Okay, so got the pork chops. I got 3/4 of a cup of Romano cheese, a 1/2 cup of honey. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of soy sauce right here. I use low sodium. Use whatever you like. Okay, now here it says 2 tablespoons of basil. If you guys watch my videos, I'm really not a fan of basil. Like, I don't know why. I will add a little bit because I don't know if it does anything for the flavor. But I have a 2 tablespoon measure here. I'm putting a teeny tiny bit in, and the rest I'm putting parsley in. I don't know what my aversion to basil is. I think I was basiled out. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of a parsley and basil mixture is what I did in mine. But if you like basil, use the whole 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. The only ingredient I did not get out. Damn, my hands hurt. It's hard to get in there. Okay. 2 tablespoons of garlic. I'm going to go a little more because I'm not scared. Okay. What else does it ask for? And it's going to ask me for 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, it smells really good, but that could be just the garlic. Okay. What else do I have here? Okay, what's not in the recipe is black pepper, and again, the cheese is very salty, so I'm going to assume that I don't need any salt, but I am going to put some freshly ground black pepper. Okay, that is it. Can you see in there? Looks pretty good. It smells really good. I'm excited to try this one. Okay, I almost dumped that garlic over. That would have been ugly. Okay, get the air out. I have cheese all over the counter. That's okay. I'm going to give it a smush. And again, when I freeze these, I freeze them flat, so I try to get my pork chops laying down better. I like to freeze these flat. And I don't remember where I got the tip from, but I did get a tip. It might have been Kimmy from She's in Her Apron, who I love. I believe that she's the one that gave us the tip about putting a sheet of paper towels between the layers so that they don't stick together when you try to take them apart, which is what I do now all the time, and it works perfectly. So, okay, the honey pork chops are done. I'm going to move them to a different counter. The next on the list is going to be, we'll do the barbecue pork just because they're here. This is so super simple that you almost don't even need to make it a freezer meal, but what the hey, right? Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is pour a whole bottle of your favorite barbecue sauce in a bag. Our favorite is the Bullseye Original. Love it. I also use that when I make legit pulled pork, which is like I do in the crock pot all day with a picnic pork, and I also do vinegar and onions. It's so good. I'm really not a pork fan either, I have to say. So the recipes that I do, I think hard and long about them before I actually do them. This is a cup of water, but I only need half a cup per recipe. I'm going to take my empty bottle and I'm going to pour half a cup in. Okay. A little more. Okay, that should do it right about there. And then all I'm going to do is I put a half a cup of water in here. I'm going to shake this out. And that's going to be its cooking liquid. Done. The second one, same thing. I put the whole container of barbecue sauce in the bag. Okay, so this one basically, you just cook it on low, like 8 hours. When it's done, or even like an hour before if you want to, because sometimes I like to just do it an hour before. I just shred it up with a pair of like kitchen tongs and let it keep going. And then I serve it on some rolls. Like I like to make homemade rolls, and there is a recipe on how to do them. I do mine in the bread machine. You can also do them in a KitchenAid mixer or even by hand. My mom, who is in her 80s, she makes rolls by hand, so it's easy to do. You need about 2 hours and 15 minutes if you want to do them like that. Okay. I will link that recipe in case you want to give it a try. The video for that. And that's it. Pulled pork. Okay. And this is good because sometimes Chuck likes this a lot. Sometimes he'll be wanting to make this, but I'll have forgotten to get the barbecue sauce because around here they used to sell that Bullseye barbecue sauce like everywhere, and now I'm only finding it at certain Walmart stores, and the other stores I used to get it at no longer carry it. Okay, so now we got 2 of the barbecue pulled pork. And then I'm going to switch to you on a different side here just because it's cleaner. And I'm going to give my hands a rinse real quick because they're a little sticky. Let me get rid of these sticky bottles too. And I'll need a cup of water. Okay. Okay, so the last recipe that I'm doing tonight is smothered pork chops. And where did I get smothered pork chops from? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'll have to reference it if I find out who I got it from, but let me show you. I got 4 of the pork chops in here. To it, I'm going to add an envelope of pork gravy. I didn't even know this existed until about a week ago when I seen the recipe and we went looking for it. So, If you can't find pork gravy, use brown gravy. I've had that on pork chops, and it's really good. Okay, you're going to need an envelope of that and 1 envelope of your onion soup mix. And don't worry about trying to keep up. I'm going to type out these recipes in the description box for you. And what I also wanted to tell you is that I'm going to be doing, I wasn't really sure on how to do the finished meals, you know, when I cook these crock pot recipes. So I was trying to get, like, if I have 4 recipes in here, I was trying to get them all 4 on another video. But it's too difficult. So what I'm doing is, this is smothered pork chops. So I'm going to have on another video, when I cook it, it'll be smothered pork chops part 2. So look out for those if you want to see specifically how something turns out. Okay, so we have onion soup mix, pork gravy, a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just going to use a teaspoon because it's like 10:30 at night here, and honestly, it's probably dirty. Okay, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Okay. A can of cream of chicken soup. This is the 98% fat-free one. I use this a lot, and I never had anybody say, like, oh, is that the fat-free thing? Nobody knows. Okay, so that goes in there. And then what else? A cup of water. That's it. Okay, so what it says to do is that you're going to cook your pork chops on low for 6 to 8 hours. I bet this would be good with some mashed potatoes or maybe some rice on the side, whatever you like. I'm just giving this a little smush. Okay, so it's a little prep work, meaning I got the big pork loin because it was on sale, so I cut that up. That took me a little bit of time. And just measuring out the ingredients, I mean, this is taking us no time at all. We have a smothered pork chop, a honey Romano pork chop, and 2 barbecue pulled porks. So 4 more meals, 3 recipes, and we're set to go. If you guys like these freezer meals, let me know. Tell me what you're looking for. If it's not a recipe, it's huge, and it's just me and Chuck here, and he doesn't like it. So I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to, I'll show you when it's cooked, though, but I'm going to serve it in flour tortillas with sour cream and a mixture of Colby Jack and cheddar cheese. And then with the leftovers, I'm going to make them like that, like fajitas, and I'm going to fry them on the grill. I'll wrap them in, I will wrap them in wax paper and put them in a freezer bag, and then whenever I want one for dinner, say he's having something I don't like, I will just throw one of those in the toaster oven or in the air fryer, and I'll be all set. So let me get these in the freezer. Again, if you haven't done so already, please hit that red subscribe button. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the video, and also to share this on your page. Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you like it.